when you get a life sentence, you got a life sentence. Like, I don't know if people really know what that means, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, as y'all know too, I know people that done came home off them life sentences. You can go back and win your case and get that life back if they caught you dead to the wrong and it ain't no appeals and motions and I know straight up, you know what it is, and you got life, man.
The Heisman pose and whack everybody knows I say he blindsided them folks. He blindsided them folks. He blindsided them folks. Then took the head of that coke. I say he blindsided them folks. He blindsided them folks.
When you get a life sentence, you got a life sentence. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if people really know what that means. You know what I'm saying? When you got life, that's your life. You know what I'm saying? And that's with parole, with the possibility of parole. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of partners that got them elbows and family whatever or whatnot. Family members as well. But at the same time, as y'all know too, I know people that done came home off them life sentences. It ain't like it's over. You can go back and win your case and get that life back or however. You know what I'm saying? It done been done thousands of times. But as far as if they caught you dead to the wrong and it ain't no appeals and motions and I know straight up, you know what it is, and you got life, man. You know what I'm saying? And you had that stipulation where you're eligible for parole. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my daddy telling me in his time, when you get a life sentence, you serve 7 years. Yep, you served 7 years, and then you was eligible for parole. You know what I'm saying? And then he said they changed that law. Folks started getting out. You know what I'm saying? And so they had to slow that down right there. You had a lot of people that was killing people doing 7, 12 years and then getting out on that murder. You know what I'm saying? Especially black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? So they changed that law to 14 years. You had to serve 14 years before you was eligible of parole. You know what I'm saying? For parole. And the same thing really started happening, man, because the crime rate was steady rising. Crime rate was steady rising, in the 60s, 70s, and you know what I'm saying, all up in there. With the drug epidemic hit, you got the cocaine flooded, then you had the crack era coming up, you know what I'm saying? So crime was rising all over the United States. So you had those guys commit those murders doing 18 years off them 14 and then coming home as well. You know what I'm saying? So they end up changing it again, if y'all don't know. You know what I'm saying? And right now, as it stands, it's 32 years. You know what I'm saying? In Georgia, that is 32 years when they will look at you. You know what I'm saying? For parole. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand how it go when I say, straight up, it's life. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about Shawshank, y'all remember Shawshank, Andy Dupree, Morgan Freeman. You know what I'm saying? If y'all remember, Morgan Freeman had life. You know what I'm saying? And he continued to come up for parole. And that's how it is right now. So if you get a life sentence and you eligible for parole at 32 years, then when you do your 32, you in front of parole board. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? But then they deny you. You know what I'm saying? Then depending on what the next time you have another parole here, we'll just say it's 6 years. Boom, there you go. So after those 6 years, you back up again. So right now at this time, as you going to see them, of course, y'all do the math. He done did 38 years. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, when he go see him, boom, they deny him again. You know what I'm saying? So the next time he come up, they say 4 years. Bam, bam, there y'all go. When he up for parole, right before he going out, y'all see the math right there? You done did. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, bro. And it continue to go on and go on and go on. You know what I'm saying? They deny you again. They tell you 5 years before you go back. Now you have years you done in prison. They deny you again for another 4 years. Now you done did in prison when they release you. You know what I'm saying? And what is that, y'all? That's your life. You know what I'm saying? Because when did you go in? At 17? At 25, 23, 30? So your life is gone. And that's how they do it, man. For real, a life sentence really is your life, you know? And you do have those exceptions where, something went wrong in the courtroom or some more evidence was brought up in favor of the person who got life, you know what I'm saying, to give that time back and stuff like that. So, of course, that happens right now. You know what I'm saying? Mistrial cases and things of that nature. But a life sentence means the rest of your life in prison, and we will consider you to let you out after so many years. Because on that first one, you ain't gonna never get that. You know what I'm saying? And when I left Coastal, my partner QB Quint, he was in there, and I remember him getting his parole. I mean, the note back from the parole board or whatever, and he had served 20 years already on the murder case. And they denied him. They said, and I remember reading that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? He was sad to hear. Then he went on a bunch after that. But they had said that the 20 years that he had done, they didn't feel that there was enough time for the crime that he had committed. And like I say, he had to do 12 more. That's that 32 before they could consider him. When he wrote them and talking to them about them 20 or just all that, man, them folks shut him down real quick, man. Letter came right back in 3 days. Real talk, man. But that's how it go, man. And just like I was looking at something the other day, man, about C Murder. Free C Murder. My New Orleans home, and I seen the guy, the security guard, who initially in the trial had said that it was C Murder who done it. But now you got him now saying, man, I really didn't see him, man. The police really pressured me and coerced me to say these things right here about C Murder because they wanted C Murder. Man, when you have somebody saying that, man, you have to look into that. You have to look into it. And then, down in New Orleans down now, they don't have to have a unanimous decision out of the 12 jurors. They don't have to have nothing but 10. And you got a life sentence, man. You know what I'm saying? And with somebody coming forward so many years later, and I don't care how many years it is, man, if they come back and say, hey, I want to tell the truth now, this is what really happened, you have to go with that, man. Seriously. You have to look into it, man. You know what I'm saying? Right before that lady who Emmett Till whistled at, right before she died on her deathbed, she had said she lied, man. And that opens everything up, man. You see what I'm saying? She had to release everything. You know what I'm saying? that guy just at some point in his life, he said, man, this ain't right. 10 years later, 15, whatever, how long C Murder been locked up? But at some point in his life, that stuff was eating him so bad that he had to come forward. He had to release it. Just like that lady with Emmett Till. What made him different than that lady, that lady right there? When she released that, you know what I'm saying? It was like on our side, we was like, oh my God, however, and people had mixed feelings about it. But on her end, they, congratulated her, what I'm saying, that was the right thing to do, because it was though. You know what I'm saying? But she did something that was courageous, and on her side, they wowed her and held up like a trophy. You know what I'm saying? But the damage that she done was horrifying, and it ended up being great for us though. You know what I'm saying? But she released the truth because it ate at her. That's what he did. He released the truth because it was eating at him. You have to release C Murder, man. Like straight up and down, man. That's only fair, man. You got a life sentence, and they caught you to the wrong, then they caught you to the wrong. If it's some tweaks in your trial and something didn't go right and you was unfair, then that's not right. Then they need to go and put you back into court and give you a fair trial. And that goes for anybody. You know what I'm saying? But if you did that to the wrong, you did it, and it just open and shut, and that's that, then you have to, sit that out. You know what I'm saying? And wait till you eligible for parole, man. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of that, man, my partner Joseph Bridges, Popeye, you know, he got 3 life sentences plus like 30 years. And they told him, and he didn't get them concurrent to run with each other. He got them consecutive, meaning he have to finish 1 life sentence, do another life sentence. Finish that life sentence, do that other life sentence. And he do all 3 of them life sentences, he got to start on his 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, when he got his life sentences, he was up under the 14-year law. So y'all do the math on that. 14, 14, 14. You know what I'm saying? So right now, with the time that he done, he at the 30-year mark. And one thing that they told him with all that time was he wasn't going to be eligible for parole until he did 30 years. Remember, that was back then now, till he did 30 years. So he on his 30 years right now. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully he come home, when something like that happen and you up for parole, they have a meeting with you, and they also have a meeting with the victim's family. And in this case, the guy who he killed, which I never knew him, but I was fortunate enough to meet his mother and work with his mother side by side at a job, you know what I'm saying, on 895. And got to know her very well and even apologized to her for what my friend done to her son. You know what I'm saying? So, they have to notify, the loved ones and have a meeting with them and see how they feel about, this person coming home. And unfortunately, she have passed away, rest in peace, Miss Linda. She have passed away. So I don't know how that goes, do he have a sister? Her sister, his grandmother, is she still living? Things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But, I can't say any time is enough time to, say it was worth that person's life. I can't put no time on that. I don't think any time is worth it. So I can't say, 50 years or 30 years or 10 years because these different murder cases have different situations. Some cases it should have been self-defense, and the the DA told a better story than the lawyer, and the DA persuaded the juror. That's all it's about. You know what I'm saying? Persuading the juror, with the evidence at hand. So, some unfortunate people did get the bad end of the stick when they probably shouldn't have got a murder charge. They probably should have got involuntary manslaughter, voluntary, involuntary, voluntary, either one. You know what I'm saying? Some people should have got self-defense. But it's all depend on the evidence, the witnesses, your lawyer, and persuade the jury. You know what I'm saying? So, only thing I can say what all of us need to do, but we won't get no life sentence, is stay prayed up.
Like Lauren Taylor, sack your ass with a whole key of dope. I say he blind, hide the pole. Lips in the ceiling, fancy of smoke. I been rocking Bangladesh, so you think it don't want no smoke. I say he did the Heisman pole.